watching the words on the walls. Some of the words have years, going from 1951 to 2007. Miles thinks they're using them to mess with them and they're fake because for him it's 1991. Damsey laughs as she realizes he isn't using a smartphone and brings up things like social media and selfies, but Miles doesn't understand her. Suddenly the room starts glowing and emitting a noise that makes Miles' ears bleed, but he still checks his watch to notice the room movements are happening more often. He writes the times on his arm before grabbing his head, screaming in unbearable pain before passing out. Moments later he wakes up trembling and having trouble breathing, unable to pick up the ringing phone. The word answer appears on the wall, so he forces himself to take the call. He tells Damsey that there isn't enough air and finally notices the room is even smaller now. The same happened to Damsey, who shares her theory. She thinks she, Miles, and other people are all in the same room at the same time, just in different years. She asks him to draw something on the wall and Miles makes an X, which is then surrounded by a hand drawn by Damsey. In her time, the year is 2020. She talks about the fourth dimension and shares she's always been better than average at math, prompting Miles to confess he's always been very good at math too, but he was never the academic type. Feeling exhausted, Miles falls to the ground while pointing out these beings are probably testing their bodies with all the weird changes to the room. He asks Damsey about the future and he's sad to hear the war is still going. Miles calls it the sins of the father and shares that his own dad fought in Vietnam before passing out. Damsey calls his name and he immediately wakes up, saying she needs him. At that moment, Miles notices that his Arabic dictionary dropped out from his bag and some of the symbols match the ones on the wall. He starts translating the message and writes it on the floor so Damsey can see it too, and the final result is an equation. Damsey recognizes it as the work of a famous mathematician who studied higher dimensions, but he never got to finish it. Another trapped person must be a mathematician and wrote it as a clue, which makes Miles and Damsey realize the kidnapped people are all connected to math in some way. Suddenly someone starts scribbling on both the Arabic equation and the translation to cover them, so Miles hurries to write what he remembers on his arm. Then Damsey confesses that she works as a teacher, but she actually has a very